Okay. I believe you should be able to see now you should be able to see in my Gmail, my email, it should be up on the screen right now. And I wanted to start here because I want to make sure that you are aware that you do have access to Google Drive. It's part of our corporation-wide Google accounts. We have quite a few different pieces that we can access, including Gmail, but also Google Drive that includes documents, spreadsheets, a presentation program, all of which are accessible online and can be shared and collaborated on. So this isn't really a training on Google Drive itself. This is to show you how to connect Google Drive to My Big Campus. But we certainly will be having some Google Drive training down the road in the future for anybody who wants to know more about Google Drive itself. So I'm starting here on my email because this is probably the easiest way to get to Google Drive. Right over here in the corner, there is a little set of boxes. Okay, good information. Thank you, Shelby. These little boxes right here, if you click on that, you're going to get a bunch of different options, and yours might not look exactly the same as mine because mine is showing what I use the most often or have used in the past. But you hopefully see a little symbol here that gives you access to Drive. If not, you can click on this more and then it'll just pop up more things that you can click on. So you can get there this way. If I just click on Drive, it'll take me into Google Drive. Now another option, if for some reason you can't find that icon from your Gmail, you can go here to the tab and click on or type in drive.google.com, and that will get you to exactly the same place. Okay. Now this is coming up as if I'm already logged in, because I am. If you're not logged into your Google account, it will show you a place to log in, a place to put in your school email address, and your Google password should come in as well. On a shared computer, it does not matter because you are logged into your Google account. So you're seeing what belongs to you in Google as you're logged into that account. It's not something that's actually on that device itself. You're working through the web, if that makes sense to you. So you see that I've used Google Drive quite a lot. I have a ton of documents and spreadsheets and all kinds of crazy stuff in here. Like we'll have another session at some point in time if people are interested in it, where we'll talk about all the different types of things you can do in Google Drive: docs, sheets, slides. Those are the main ones. You can upload various files just for storage here. But what we're going to focus on today is how to connect with My Big Campus so that anything that you have in your Google Drive account you can attach within My Big Campus so that you can send it to students or another teacher and be able to give them easy, quick access to that. Now, of course, there's ways to do that just within Google Drive without involving My Big Campus. But if you are having a class discussion in My Big Campus and you want them to reference or use something in your Google Drive account, then you can easily attach that. So that's, or schoolwork or any other aspect of My Big Campus. So that's why we want to just point out that this is an option that's available to everyone. So now that we've talked about how to get to your Google Drive and kind of a little bit about what that is, let's go on to My Big Campus. So I'm going to go, here's just my landing page when I first log into My Big Campus. But if I go over here to where my name is, and I go to settings. Now, this can be confusing, so I want to point out the difference here, because after we go to settings, we're going to go to a place called applications, which is confusing because applications is right here as well. The difference is we're going to go set up an application. So we're going to go to settings. After we've done that, then they'll be visible in the applications area. So I just think that's a little confusing. So I'm going to click on settings. And then I'm going to go down here to this bottom option under personal settings that says applications. Thought I already did that, sorry. I just want to remove it so that I can start from the beginning like you would be. When you go here, you should see under applications, you should see Google, and it'll have this button that says add Google integration. I want to point out that there are several other options as well. I'm not very used to using OneDrive because I don't do a lot with Windows, but if you have a OneDrive account, you can do the same thing with this. Also with Twitter, which I do have integrated with my Big Campus. Facebook, and then NBC Learn. The NBC Learn one should be already enabled for you because that is a district-wide enabling that we did to give everybody access to NBC Learn. So back up here, we're going to click on Add Google Integration. Once I do that, it's asking for permission for certain things. And all I need to do is click accept. Now, it looks like this because I am already logged into my Google account, and it's recognizing that. If I was not logged into my Google account when I clicked on that button, it would ask me at this point to log in, or maybe right after this point, but it would at some point ask me to log into my Google account. So I'm going to click accept. And now that is connected to my Big Campus account. So once I've done those steps, I will be able to access anything in my Google Drive through my Big Campus. So let's talk about some places where you would do that. Sorry, I'm giving a check on my time here. Okay, so in my Big Campus, there's a million places that that this would benefit you. Let's start with something simple. Let's go to a group. I'm just going to go back to my Big Campus page, and my groups are listed over here. I'm going to go to my sample test group. This is kind of where I try everything out. And let's say I'm posting an announcement for my students. I'm in the announcements tab, and you can see that I've already done this once. I'm just going to say, here are the notes from our training. And then right here where you have the cloud, this is Drive. If you click the cloud itself, you're going to get my Big Campus Drive, this area over here. But if you click the drop-down arrow, you're going to have three different options. You're going to have my Big Campus Drive, the cloud area over here. That's going to include any and everything that you have ever uploaded in my Big Campus. The shared drive files, that's part of this drive as well, but that's things that somebody else created and then shared with you. For example, a bundle. If a teacher starts a bundle and they make you a collaborator on it, that would be within your shared drive files. But then right here is where we're going. We also have the option to search our Google Drive account since we have now integrated it. So if I click on that, it's going to give me a search box that says Search Google Drive, so I know I'm looking in the right place. And then I can just type in a keyword that I know is in the title of one of my Google Docs, and I click Search. And then it's bringing up anything that fits that search result. So, I can click on these training notes, and that places it right here, showing that it's going to be attached to this announcement. Now, I do have to click this little X. This throws a lot of people because the little box, the button to click post is missing because it's behind this. So I have to close out that search option, and then I can click post. And that just posted my announcement, but it also posted this link. And if I click that link, then it's going to open up that document from Google Docs. And you'll see that we've now left my Big Campus. It opened up in a new tab. Here's where we just were. So it opened in a new tab. And here's that Google Doc that I wanted to attach so that people could see. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here to my Big Campus and just show you that this exact same procedure that we just did is available in lots of different places. I just showed it to you in announcements, but in discussions, if I go to add a new discussion, of course I have to fill all these things out, but right here I have that same row of share options, and here's that Google Drive choice as well. If I go to resources, same thing. I still have that same row of share buttons. I still have Google Drive as an option. If I go to schoolwork, let's say I'm going to create a new assignment for my students. create new schoolwork. Actually, yeah. If I go to add a question, I'm not, filling in all the steps here, but if I go to add this question, again, no matter what question type I choose, I have the option to add items to it, including anything from my Google Drive. So just all over the place in my big campus, you have that row of share buttons, and it's going to always include that option to share something from your Google Drive. The one exception, let's go to, I'm going to go to Drive. I'm going to open up what I call my random bundle. This is just a random bundle where I do demonstration stuff. So if I'm building a bundle in my big campus, I'm going to go into the editor here. And I'm in the Content tab. Oops, sorry about that. Those things don't happen when I'm doing Opportunity from my office. So when I'm doing a bundle and I go over here to the type of content I want to add to my bundle, I've got all kinds of options here, but I don't have Google Drive. That is not one of your choices of things that you can just drag into your bundle. In my big campus. You've got Drive listed here, but that's your My Big Campus Drive. That's not Google Drive. Okay, so I did want to show you quickly a workaround to that. If I just go to Insert Text and I open up a new text box, and let's say I really do want students to have a link to something from Google here, I would just go here and type, the name of the document, whatever it is. And then I'd open that document in Google Drive. And this is going to lead us into the next thing that I wanted to talk about some share settings in Google Drive. But if I go over here to this button that says Share, and I open that up, it's going to give me a link. It's also going to tell me what my share settings are. I can also click right here where it says Get Shareable Link. And if I click that, it just copies that link to my clipboard. Makes it really easy. Okay, so we'll come back here in just a second to talk about what it means by can view, can edit. I'll show you some of these settings without going too deep into Google training. But I've copied that link to my clipboard, so I can come back here to my bundle. I can highlight this text that I want to make into a link. And then right here is a little button that says Link. And if I click that, it's giving me a place to paste that URL. So I can right click and paste and say OK. And then I'm going to say that I'm done editing this. This gets into a little bit of bundle making training as well, which you may or may not have had a lot of experience with. But now what I have here is a hyperlink that's going to take me to that particular Google Doc that I was trying to do. So I can save my bundle. I'm just going to show you how it works here. Let's let this reload. Then I'm going to go to View Bundle. Okay, so right here's that hyperlink I just made. Oops. If I click on that, it takes me to that Google Doc. So it's just a couple more steps if you're doing it within a bundle. Everywhere else, it's just really easy to attach something from your Google Drive. I know that the developers at My Big Campus, they have been asked to include Google Drive as an option in that bundle content drop-down menu. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense that it's not one of your choices. So I think that's probably something that's coming in the future. But for now, if you want to link to a Google Doc in a bundle, that's kind of the workaround that you would have to do to be able to do that. Okay, so now that we're back here, we need to talk just for a minute about the share settings in Google, because this could really stump you up. If you create a document and you successfully post it to a My Big Campus announcement, but then your students click on it and they get an error message that says that they can't access it. The reason that could happen is that you may not have your Google share settings set to allow them to access it. So again, this blue share button, actually let me go to a sample document that I have not shared yet. Oh, I did share it. All right, let me back up here. Sorry. Let me create a new document from scratch just so I can show this from the beginning. So I'm just going to create a new document. I'm going to give it a title here. I'll just type some random stuff in it. Okay, so now when I go over here to the share, if I just hover over it, it says that it's private only to me. And that is the default. When you create a new document, it's going to be private to you until you share it and give it some accessibility to others. So if I click that blue button, if I click on Get Shareable Link, it's going to turn sharing on. But you'll notice that it tells me right here that it's only available to people within Southwest Park, so they have to, sorry again, they have to be logged into a Southwest Park Google account, and they're only going to be able to view it. They're not going to be able to do any sort of editing or anything like that. Now you can type in email addresses to give individual people permissions, but that really wouldn't be very beneficial within My Big Campus with your students. So where we're going to go is this little tiny link down here that says Advanced. And once I get in there, I can change this. And I have all these options. The one that I probably like the best is anyone with the link. If I click on that, that's going to allow anybody who I give the link to, if I copy and paste the link or if I attach it to my Big Campus announcement, anything like that, it's going to give them access to that document. But you have to also pay attention down here. So it says anyone, no sign-in required, that's great, can view it, but they can't edit it. If you want them to be able to type into it, you'll need to change that to can edit. You also have the option of having them be able to comment on it, which is just being able to put little things out into the margin, but not actually change the document itself. So you have all these different options. So you can change that to the one you want, and then click Save. And then now it says anyone who has the link can edit. And that would make it accessible. Now it's not going to track them because they're not actually logging in to a Google account. So you're not going to know who did what editing. You're just going to, be able to see people typing in there and be able to see what they typed. To be able to track it, that's getting into students actually logging into a Google account or other teachers logging into a Google account. So that's kind of a more advanced Google training. And like I said, we'll have that at some point down the pike here when teachers are feeling like it's something that they would benefit from. So that would allow them to be able to click on it. They won't get that error message when they go to their document. Okay, so those are the basics. Let me look at our agenda, make sure I covered everything. I think I did. So I'll just take whatever questions that maybe you have, or if there's something in particular that you want to know more about, you can either type that into the box down there or raise your hand and I can give you access to your microphone and we can chat. If I've had files in Google Docs under another name, can I transfer them as a group? Ooh, good question. I think your best bet, let me think through this here. I think your best way to do that would be to create a shared folder. So if I go up here to, my drive and I go to, or I can go to here either, I can go to new folder. And And I might name this something like transfer to new or to school. Let's do this. To school Google account. So I'll just name this folder this. Okay, so there's my, and by the way, I am working in what is the new layout for Google Drive. Um, they just recently released this, and so if you're logging in, it might look different. There's probably someplace on there that gives you an option to switch to the new layout. That's what you're seeing here is the new layout. So I've created this folder, and what I can do is just start, dragging things into it. You can just literally take your documents and drag them into that. Or if you're in an individual document, you can move it to that folder. So I would just move everything into that folder that that I want to transfer to my other account, and then I would open up this folder. And here where it gives me the name of that folder again, I have the option to share the whole folder. And so I would go to that, and then I would type in my school email address. And that would share it with my other school account. So you type in the address of whichever account you're wanting to move those files to, and then you can click done. And then when you log into your other account, it would be under incoming. It used to be called shared, but it would be listed under incoming. You would be able to find all those files, and then you could keep them there, or you could move them to the main My Drive folder. I think that would probably be the easiest way to transfer them to another name. If I come up with a more efficient means of doing that, I can certainly let you know. But just thinking through it, I think that's probably about the fastest way that you could do that. Yeah, it does. It's been a while since you've played on Google. It changes, and it kind of changes often. So it might take you a little while to get your bearings again, logging into Google. And I went ahead and switched to the new layout because, I figure I might as well start getting used to it. So, and actually I do like it better. It just, like anything else, it takes a little getting used to. Anything else that I can show you, or any questions I can answer for you? Okay, well, make sure that when you do get in and mess around that you send me an email if you run into any bumps or questions or things you don't quite figure out on your own. I was going to also tell you that I am in the process of starting to send out PGP points for anybody who maybe needs those. So participation, I know it's only half an hour, so but they do add up over time. So this is your second one. So you've already earned one PGP point. So I will start sending those emails out following our opportunity sessions. It'll be as an email, but there'll also be a PDF certificate that you can file away and have as evidence that you did some professional growth. I appreciate you joining me again, Shelby. We haven't, like I said, we haven't had a lot of live participants, so we may have to do a little adjustment to our schedule of these sessions to make them better for everybody else. But I do appreciate having at least one live person that I can talk to, and everybody can benefit from the recording of it. If you don't have any other questions, we're going to end exactly on time, and I will look forward to seeing you at an upcoming opportunity. Thanks. Bye.